A pair of tourists drove their car into a harbor after mistakenly following GPS directions.
What are you doing, David? I'm following the directions.
I could see that would happen in my marriage.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population U.
Population Huebel.
Hey, everybody.
I was going to say Population Huebel.
Yeah.
It's Rob
This
Huebel.
one's just for Huebel.
I'm so happy
Welcome
Rob
to town,
Huebel is
dude.
here.
It's nice to be back.
in the dumb
back.
world. And
Before, when I did this, I think I wasn't here. I was at my home, and it was maybe...
we zoomed it.
Yeah,
We zoomed it.
2020,
Yeah, this is way better.
2021.
It's just
I
fun.
agree.
Take our shirts
I
off and just
agree.
relax. You know?
Emotionally. Let's just put on the lotion. What? Put the lotion in the
I ran into Rob in the wild, and it was
Rob in the
he
Wild
saw
is
me.
fantastic.
Was I by myself or
You were
with
by
my-
yourself.
What do you wear? What do you set it?
at a golf driving range?
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like the woods.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in the wild per se. He wasn't
like,
like eating from
Vaughn's.
the carcass of an animal.
Yeah, we were at a driving range. We were at a very exclusive public driving range.
And you were by yourself.
I was by myself because I think I had like a few minutes, and I'm like, let me drive by here. And while I was going to pick up my kid from school or something, I'm like, I'm going to work on something. And then he came by and said hi, and I'm like, all right, we need you back on the podcast. Here we are.
So if you have kids, do you ever see somebody who... do you ever do this, or do you ever do this? Dan, you're not participating in this,
Thank
but where
you.
you see
No, good drink of
someone...
water.
They see you doing the same thing and you're not with your kids, but they're with their kids, so you feel like you're a deadbeat dad because every time they see it, like every time I have one guy in my neighborhood who's always with his kid, and then he sees me and I'm just walking by myself. It looks like I'm neglecting my family completely because every time he sees me, I'm by myself. Like I never do anything with my kids.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're in like a jerking off in like a Safeway parking lot. then I
Okay,
would say,
I mean,
yeah.
How's
what if
the
it's-
separation going?
Great.
Working it out?
Yeah.
You got your own place?
I'm working out
sleeping
something.
here.
It's very comfy behind the dumpster. Nobody make a thing. All right, so
I like to watch him gather the cart. Just get
anyway, the world's getting dumber, and we get stories sent in by our fans.
The
and we're
world
gonna
is
go-
getting really dumb.
right.
Thank you.
Really dumb.
I
really
think
dumb
it's
really fast.
I think it's homeschooling. I do think it's
I
homeschooling.
think homeschooling has something to do with
I was just reading about how like homeschooling is getting so huge. I mean, this is an
my
old
God.
story. This is a different podcast.
No. It's not.
But it's not helping.
But by the way,
We're not getting
homeschooling is like a.
What was Zach Galifianakis' joke about? I went to my prom.
It was homeschool.
I was homeschooled.
Homeschooling is. Homeschooling is like.
You just
like
run a big risk.
A one-night stand that essentially it suddenly turns into like a marriage.
Yeah.
In terms of what you
No,
have to
no,
do. I was listening to a
No,
podcast.
homeschooling is- all right, go
I was
ahead.
listening to a podcast about a cult. Where the
Which
cult
one? There's so
it was
many.
the cult next door, and it was about the cult's leader was the leader of the family who ran the family like a cult, and he wanted to control the information that the kids were getting, and so he decided to pull them out of school and homeschool them, and he did it for a year and was like, I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
I got a cult to run. I can't. This is too hard.
Parenting
So,
harder
what-
than the cult.
It's hard. Homeschooling is so much work
Than a cult.
so
Wait,
hard.
nobody wants to do
So
that.
to me, homeschooling is like if you find like a really weird good diet, and you're like, you got to eat like a pound of basil a day and only protein, and you'll lose weight, and like it works for a while.
Yeah.
But then if you do it for like 9 years, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I don't have any iron in my diet anymore, and I don't have these essential things
when
that are
the
part
sun
of the
comes
base.
out, I get like massive.
Yeah,
tumors.
I
If
sleep
people are
like
just
14
tuning
hours a
in,
day.
they're like, what? I don't even know. How did this become
What
a
is this
homeschooling podcast?
Oh my god! The detours. We might as well call this Detour Town. It's not just this episode.
All right, so homeschooling. All right, so it is getting dumber, and so I have a story
Yeah,
sent
yeah.
in by our good friend Derek Shipley, who is one of our fans who sends in stories. I
What
love
is
you,
Derek up to these days?
He's sending in stories. He's a
Wait, hold on.
stringer.
So Derek is, we don't know, is this Derek's
a lawyer.
full-time job?
So yeah,
Sending in bits to you
is
guys?
Derek a
Derek-
lawyer?
Wait, am I thinking of Derek Lipkin?
Derek Lipkin is a lawyer. Derek Shipley sends us stories. I don't think
works
so.
for
Only Derek's
Amazon.
listen to this podcast.
That's right. We got a host full of Dereks, that a stable
Derek
full of
people
Dereks.
town.
You know who won't listen to it anymore? Bo Derek.
Bo Derek
She will
will
not
not.
listen to
No,
this
she won't. She's
podcast.
pissed.
She walked off. One bad interview.
Well, she ran off in slow motion in cornrows. Okay.
Two people will get that joke.
I give it a 10.
And both
I
of
give
them,
it a 10.
and both of them only know it from Tom.
Did you say I give that joke a 10?
I did.
Get out of
Okay.
here. All right.
Get out of here.
Here's the headline. Tourists in Hawaii followed their GP. Didn't you do a movie about Hawaii? Yes, you did.
I did. I was the star of the
Descendants.
movie The Descendants.
Descendants.
I was the star.
Tourists in Hawaii
I
followed
nominated you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, tourists in Hawaii followed their GPS and drove their car straight into a harbor. Pretty sure that was not supposed to happen. Quote. I don't know who's giving
Who's
that
writing
quote.
this?
Well, one of the things, you guys shot in Kauai, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
You don't know?
I don't remember. I don't think it was Kauai, but I
think
don't
it
wanna
was
slow us
Kauai.
down. Okay.
And I love the island. One of the things I love about Hawaii, especially Kauai, is it's on you. Hawaii hasn't been fully,
Right.
kid safe like most of America has with the
Right.
Grand Canyon and stuff like that. There's plenty of areas where you go where they're like, this is how many people died here, and that's the trail.
Go
This
ahead
is
and jump
on
off
you.
the bridge.
This is
One
on
thing
you.
they don't have, I don't think they have snakes in Hawaii.
No, there's almost no
'Cause, like, how would they
predators.
get there?
It's like
Yeah.
some deer on some of the islands, especially Kauai. It's
Is
chicken.
this podcast sponsored by Hawaii? Why
It
are we
is.
talking about
We're
Hawaii?
working on it.
Because
but I'm
this
just saying, them driving, there probably was no signage. Like, it was just like, well,
what
if you're
did-
dumb
wait,
enough to
what
do
did they
this.
do? Their car just
A pair of tourists drove their car into a harbor after mistakenly following
Idiots.
GPS directions.
What are you doing, David? I'm
mean-
following the directions.
It says
Shut
go
up.
left on this dock.
I could see that would happen in my marriage.
Right.
I could see that happening.
You wouldn't
Really?
go
Okay.
that
Is that
way.
okay? You want me to? Okay, then I will.
Fine.
Then I will.
Fine.
Are you happy?
I will.
Now we're in
Okay.
the ocean. Now we're drowning. Now are you happy?
They
Great.
did it. to
You will
prove
get into
a
a principal argument. Well, I
do it.
listened. I listened.
And now
I
we're
listened.
dead.
and the water's coming like
I
this.
said,
Oh, but don't worry. We can't roll the windows down because you're too.
My wife
We're
has in,
tall.
our,
Good
in
call.
our car, and I'm not making fun of my wife, but I am. Please. But in her car, she has those things, those little hammers that you use to smash out your window in
If in
case
case.
you go into a lake,
okay.
because the pressure becomes too much. So you have to have a little thing.
Smash it out.
But she has it still in the packaging.
Oh my god.
So she'd have to be like, let me get this.
she can't get it off
And
and
the
trying to
water's
bite it, and the water's going on. God damn it. All right, the incident happened on Saturday in Hanokahau. Small boat.
almost
Are you
harbor.
Hawaiian?
Yeah, I am.
That is the actual.
It's almost
You
just
guys, that is the
fanatical.
native pronunciation.
Fanatical?
Small boat harbor in Kailua Kona, a region on the west coast of Hawaii.
Oh, the Big
Hawaii.
Island.
Now you are using the correct.
You've never
Per the
said
Washington
that.
Desk.
You've-
A video, and I'll show you the video.
Is this a G's up, Don hose down?
That's right. A video by
Jason.
Christy Hutchinson, a witness to the incident, shows the two women buckled into their Dodge Caravan. Just two women in a Dodge Caravan.
Hey, this is their Thelma and Louise.
Yes,
I guess.
Louise and Thelma,
They just watched the movie.
and they're
Yeah.
like,
they
"Keep
got
going."
inspired.
Right.
While it was headlights deep in the murky water. Now that to me sounds like a song from Florida Georgia Line. Headlights deep in the
that
murky
would work.
water. Oh, headlights
Is that a
deep in
Jacob
the
Dylan
murky
song?
water.
Or Jacob Dylan.
Headlights deep in the murky
One headlight deep. One headlight deep.
Those headlights deep in the murky water.
That also
I
sounds
said
like-
to the man I didn't know that was your daughter. No,
Whoa.
Hey,
That got
he brought it home. He brought it home. He brought it home. And so did the
hammer
song.
out.
Hammer in
Smash out
the
her windows.
still in the package. Don't know what I'm doing.
Just a song about losing your virginity. It's
in a
all
car
symbolism.
that's floating.
Okay.
I was sitting here.
I mean, if Bob Seger can sing about a teenage girl's tits,
I
we
mean-
can do whatever we want.
down on Main Street. I was sitting here trying to seek shelter from the rain, and then the next thing I saw a car drive directly past our boat into the harbor at a pretty decent speed. Hutchinson told the Post, it was so confidently done, they didn't have a look of panic on their face.
Oh my
Thelma
God.
They were
and
still
Louise.
smiling. Oh my God.
Laughing and smiling. It was a rental.
I mean, that's when
was
you
a rental.
don't really give
Did
it.
you get coverage? Did you
We don't
get
need
the
it.
coverage?
We don't need it.
We don't need it. My insurance covers it.
I used an American Express and they have insurance. That's my excuse all the time. Hutchinson's video on Sunday shows the car's windshield wipers still moving as the car slowly tipped forward, but the women did not appear to be panicking.
Turning on the wipers is such a great.
You gotta get rid of the water.
Your wipers don't have the strength.
I mean, that's a Laurel and Hardy,
such a
right?
move,
That's
yeah.
or that's like if someone described us trying to continue to have a career at this point in our lives. So like, you're just turning on the wipers as you're going in the lake on this one. You really need to.
It took us a second to figure out what's going on because they didn't seem panicked or have any sense of urgency to get out of the car.
Oh
At
my
what
God.
point do you think this is like a prank or someone's filming this for social media?
They're on island time. You know,
She was.
we got it.
Island time.
We'll open the doors.
This
in a
woman
few
was
minutes.
already filming, right? She said she in the
No,
video.
she just saw them go in and
isn't
then
it-
started
oh,
filming
once
them.
they're
Like the
in.
witnesses, like the car drove by our boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Anytime a car.
If a car drives by your boat and your boat's in the water,
Oh
something
my
like that.
God, Deb, this is better than snorkeling.
Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to happen, Hutchinson said in her video, while other witnesses shouted at the tourists to get out of the car. So she's on island time having fun watching this, and other people are like, get these people out.
Oh my
Eventually, the tourists unbuckled themselves. The passenger climbed out through the window and waited out while the driver sat on the window, seemingly unsure how to escape. The video also showed several men stepping in trying to save the women. You know, like when guys
Randy, so far these are two of the dumbest people we have
Hot,
ever had on
very
the show.
hot. I bet.
and get
I'm
out of
imagining
the,
them being very hot.
yeah. Well, that's how many men came to help.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
9
Like if-
dudes jumping in.
if
You're
it's
like, we only
one
need two of
grandpa-
you.
It's like,
We only need two guys.
We
We
got
don't
it.
need backup here.
This is like the climax of an 80s TNA movie.
Right.
do you know what you're supposed to do though in that situation? Like when because
Car going down in the
car's
Let
going
it
down
fill,
and your
right?
windows are up. Do you know what you're supposed to do?
Let it fill and then open the door.
Yeah, but how terrifying would that be?
To let it fill?
very-
Oh
You're
my
supposed to
God.
crack the windows.
Yeah.
If
you
the,
can.
the power doesn't always still work,
my
but you're
God.
supposed to crack the windows so it fills up. You let it fucking fill up with murky water, and then you're supposed to like swim
my
out.
God.
Who's
You're
gonna-
supposed to open the door and spin.
No, you
out?
won't be able to open the
You
door.
won't be able
'cause
to pressure.
The
Pressure is
pressure
too strong.
So you're supposed to put the windows down, let the,
And the crazy
water
thing is
rush in.
Right.
But
Your
what
kids are screaming. Your dog is barking.
if it's a harbor,
Dead deer in the back.
You don't know. There's a certain ports where you could go off and you're going down 20, 30, 40
More.
feet.
Oh yeah.
So you're also waiting for that, where you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
man,
The
We're
video
gonna bottom it. We're gonna find out where the bottom is.
Oh my
in
God,
this
that's
life.
terrible.
In this life, the video captured the moment the car sank in the harbor, dipping in the water nose first, then disappearing beneath the surface. The van was later hauled out of the water by tow crews per Hawaii News Now, which is where I get all my news, by the way. Hawaii News.
Hawaii News Now is pretty great.
That's why your accent is so good. Your pronunciation.
Hawaii News
Correct.
Now.
How do you tow that out?
You
It's
get
got to be a crane
giant
situation.
magnet.
The amount of bullshit you're going to get from the tow guy, you know, is like,
What'd you do?
what'd you do? Well, look what you did here.
You want me to check the tires?
You sure you know which way to go home now?
Okay, y'all have a good trip home.
We're just going to make a left turn by that dock. Oh, no, we're not stupid. We'll drive over here on the road. She added that she believed the tourists were sisters, but that she did not have any other information about them. However, no one was hurt in the incident. Isn't that
At what
great?
point do you think they were like, I don't think this is right?
Well, this is the problem. They seem to have never.
So now you're going to hear, this is, again,
Their quotes.
there was a moment that I read this and I'm like, I kind of believe them. When on land, the tourists said they were on their way to a manta ray tour. And they're
They
like,
found it.
I guess we're just going to drive all the way to
Yeah, you
got to
go all the way into the ocean.
It's
gotta
one
get
of
real
them.
close.
It's like a safari.
It's a glass bottom boat. You got to.
We were homeschooled.
There are manta companies directly on either side of the ramp. I can see how such a mistake could happen.
No.
In heavy rain, perhaps, is what she
Okay, so
said.
the wipers are on already because it's raining.
Yeah, they
it's
don't know where they're
nighttime.
Was
no,
it
it's
nighttime?
daytime.
That's I thought. God,
Samantha
that's even
Tavers,
dumber.
an information specialist for Hawaii's Department of Transportation, told the Post that the occurrence was, quote, kind of rare. So
They
it should be
had-
the most rare thing.
Were there mushrooms involved?
I don't know. I think they're all.
If that was it, then I'd be like, oh.
Well, that's what that pilot, on Alaska Airlines,
Oh, yeah, he wanted to take the plane
So
down.
but
this-
took a bunch of mushrooms because he'd been depressed.
and he
and
had been up for like 36 hours.
Yeah.
something
So
like
do you think this woman, and I think people in Hawaii have a sense of humor and they have a
All of them.
healthy disdain for all tourists, that they're idiots who are
Yeah.
coming over here.
Sure.
So this is to this woman, I'm sure said it with a straight face, but full irony. Tavares gave advice for tourists in Hawaii, telling the Post, if you see a body of water, don't drive towards it.
Fair.
What do you mean?
I mean,
what if you
just
want to
don't-
go to the beach? What are you supposed to do? Don't ever go to the beach.
Don't you?
What
Just
they
don't
need
go
to do
that
is
close. I
Don't
would
go-
say.
I'm gonna play
reach
the.
out to
Can I play the
Garmin
video
and
for
let's
you
get
guys?
these
Yes.
addresses
Yeah.
moved
This
off
is a podcast,
the water.
though. How will people see it?
Aaron will put the video in.
Yeah, we
thank
drop
God.
on YouTube.
But I'll just play
thank
it for
God.
you guys. Hold on. Here we go. Ready? And
Who is this? This is the women.
yeah, this is. Look at them.
They are hot.
They're just two older. Right?
Oh
They're
my
not hot.
gosh.
That is not even raining that hard.
It's not even raining that hard, you guys.
It's barely.
Oh, they're like. It almost looks like they drove onto a ramp.
They don't look at all concerned.
and it doesn't seem dire.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not underwater
The
yet.
white-
And the
It's
window's
kind of
already
fun,
down.
right?
The wipers when you're in the ocean.
They are
is,
so
Dan, what's that thing that's like the duck boats in Boston?
Oh, yeah, and the
where you
Wisconsin
can-
Dells.
Yeah,
take
there
a
are
duck
some
boat
vehicles that
like can
are amphibious.
semi-amphibious.
Yeah.
There is. It's like there's a moment when a tsunami's coming. I've seen a bunch of these videos where it seems like it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
and then
See,
very
look,
quickly,
it's not fun.
They do seem to be at a ramp.
She's hanging out. They are, but
Oh,
like
so-
And,
else
they're
does.
trying to get them before because it's going to drop off real
it's
fast.
going to drop off real fast.
Reverse
Yeah, look at
it.
her sitting on the edge.
Sitting on the edge.
Reverse it.
Oh, I
Get
can't wait
out.
for people to see this.
Get out.
Is that a Kia Sorento? What kind of vehicle is that?
Oh no! But it is one.
I'd just be standing on the dock being like, did you guys think you rented a boat?
A car company should take the lead and be like, this thing floats.
Yes.
So if you ever driving in the water, you can get as fucked up as you want. Don't worry. This
Don't worry,
baby
this
isn't
thing's
going
gonna float. You can easily get out of there
Oh
with the
my
help
God,
of
I
3
wish
to
we could
6.
interview these women.
So there you go. And this guy's like throwing a rope to that guy.
His buddy.
And
Because
the
he's trying
woman's
to bring it
still
up
out
this-
there. Look at this guy just hanging
the
out.
amount
on
of
the
You know
dock.
what though?
disdain
Who
for
talked
this-
about it? Everybody is very chill.
Very
so
calm.
calm. No one's
Island
freaking
time.
out.
Why,
Island
man?
time. You're on
That's
island
Rob's-
time.
look, Rob's time
That's their
filming
aloha.
The Descendants in the
That's
Hawaii.
their aloha.
Yeah.
That's their, exactly. Aloha
Drowning
means-
is supposed to be a nice way to die. I have heard.
I mean,
Thank you
So it's
for having
freezing.
the guts to say that. So do you think they went on the
windshield
manta?
wipers going. Windshield wipers.
Did they go on the manta ray tour or not?
I don't
Did they get
know.
to see one?
I don't know. This is
They got to see one
Trying
up
to say
close.
Nemo.
We're trying to find the manta rays.
What's the difference between a manta ray and a stingray? Just size? A manta ray is
think-
bigger? Are you guys biologists?
No.
I mean, we are.
I
Not anymore.
disgraced.
Disgraced biologists.
He was
No, we
honorably discharged.
I was dishonorably.
You know what? If you do homeschool, you could do that to kids.
Exactly.
You are now a biologist.
That's right.
They have no idea.
You're in
you could give out
charge.
doctorates.
3 months of doing homeschool with your kids, and you're gonna be like, I this is
can't.
too much.
I literally.
I
don't
do
wanna
give a
grade
lot of
this and then
credit
form
to
the
the
curriculum.
people who do it right.
I
'cause
mean, the
that is
curriculum. And I say
nonstop
curriculum.
work.
Who's
Listen.
doing it right?
There's gotta be some.
I don't know.
I bet
Somebody.
you we know
Cults.
people that we
It's
didn't
all
know are
religious,
homeschooled, and you'd be
yeah.
like, no. Well, wasn't Tim Tebow homeschooled?
Maybe.
I rest my
don't know.
case.
I rest my case.
No, I bet there are people who do it right. Let me
There has
let me
to
come
be.
forward and say if
have
there's
to be
someone
But
who is
that is
committed to the
such
full
a
spectrum
full-time job.
Yes.
of it.
Or if
I'm
you live in a
sure that-
rural area where there is no school.
But for the
If
sake
you
of
are a-
our careers, it's funnier for the people who do it wrong.
right, who kind of have to it.
If you're a former college professor
Right.
and you're like, you know what, I'll take it on. I'll teach the whole neighborhood. Bring them around every day
in my garage,
For no
it's gonna
money.
be-
for no money.
It's gonna be
just
hot.
do that.
For
I'll
no
just
money
put
and
up
tons
with-
of aggravation. You want me to watch your kids for you? Sure.
I'll
do
put
it.
up with hormones and kids who don't want to do it.
I will
Let
do
me
it.
do that for nothing.
I'll take the aggravation on.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
You
That's story number
you go,
one.
Mo.
So many dumb people.
So many dumb people.
So many
story
dumb
number one
people.
down the books. We'll take a break. Jay's going to do story number two. We'll find out what Dan's got going on,
No,
and
later,
we'll find out
later.
what Rob's
Find
got
out what
going on.
we have
We're
going
doing.
on.
Well, all
and
this
then
stuff's
Rob.
coming up. It's Dumb People Town. Rob Huebel is our guest. Don't go anywhere.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Rob Huebel is with us. We're going to find out what he's got going on, but first let's tell you what we have in the works.
Yeah, so I think the next thing on the books for us is
If this drops when I think it's going to
Hilarities is in
drop.
a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, first of all,
Hilarities
we
in
have a
Cleveland.
Tag It at the Comedy Store on November 15th, which is a Wednesday, which I believe is probably tomorrow night if this drops on that.
I
the
might just
14th.
come watch.
Come, please.
It's one of the
super fun.
weeks
Where we tag our
actually
friends'
home.
jokes.
Yes, we tag our friends' jokes. It's super fun. And then on December 1st and 2nd, we're at Hilarities in Cleveland. Right after the New Year, on the 4th, we're in Portland. On the 5th, we're in Seattle, Helium, and then the Crocodile. And then
End of the month, we're back in Denver at Comedy Works South. That's the beginning of February, and then Mark
Detroit
Ridley's Comedy
and
Castle,
all
and then
this.
Nice.
Minneapolis, and then
So
Austin.
do you
and all
guys
this
go
stuff.
out every weekend?
every month.
Every month.
Once.
Okay. So
Sometimes
and
twice.
you just blow off your families and,
Yes.
and say, you
Sometimes
guys-
they bring them.
It's like
These two
the
are wild.
scene in. It's like the scene in Annie Hall, which are we allowed to
Reference
quote
Woody
scenes?
Allen.
It exists.
Woody
I don't
Allen
think so.
anymore?
It's
I
the
don't-
movie.
No, we're allowed to. So there's a moment in Annie Hall where we're only gone like 3 or 4 days out of the month, but to go do stand up for that and work.
Yeah.
But if you ask our children, we are deadbeat dads.
It's like the scene in where he's in therapy. He's like, how much sex are you having? He's like, hardly any, 3 to 4 times a week. Then it's her therapist. How much sex are you having? She's like, all the time, 3 to 4 times a week.
And if you ask your friends, you guys are always with your kids.
We're all. You ask our friends, we're always with our kids. You ask our kids, they're like, my dad, I remember him. I think.
Yeah.
He's on the road. He's a road comic.
Yeah.
So we do it, but we love it. It's
Yeah.
it's certainly not for the money because we have to split it, but the joy of doing it and the actual act of it and the
The
building
chance
of,
to meet the people listening to this
It's the
podcast.
best.
Best.
You know,
It's the greatest.
You've done
Yeah.
live.
I'm jealous of
stand-ups.
I'm jealous of like just performing live because the pandemic kind of took that away from me a little bit. So I'm starting to get back more into it. But yeah, I love that you're doing.
Are you popping up at things around town?
I mean, we do shows at Largo in town, and I haven't done anything at UCB because UCB is now kind of a different thing. But I think I'm going to do some stuff there.
Have you guys ever done like a Human Giant reunion?
We have not, and I was thinking
That would be
just because the state is doing it right
I
now.
know, that's-
You 100%.
You
should.
100%.
I know it's
should.
not. I think it's just like I don't know what Aziz is doing. I mean,
Yeah.
I talk to him, and we're all me and Sheer see each other all the time. But Aziz is sort of in and out of this country, and he's in England and stuff like that.
Yep.
And he's great, but I think he's he kind of does his own thing,
Right,
and like so I don't know that he would be down. But I've never asked, and who knows?
Bro.
Maybe
Broach
not
the
a
subject.
tour, but like a show in New York would be free.
Yeah, or
dude,
like
great.
SF
So
Sketchfest is
fun.
always great about hosting stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm
make
gonna
it
do
worth it for
Sketchfest this
everybody.
year. We're gonna go up
Oh, you
there.
are?
and
You
do
could do
that.
how did this get made there?
No, we're going to
jump
do
on that.
improv there
great.
with this crew that we call Dinosaur now, which is just a bunch of
Yes.
old white guys.
Oh, nice.
That's what we call it, Dinosaur.
Because
I love
meteor
it. Well,
took
how
you
can
out?
people follow you and know where to see you?
Dude, whatever. Instagram. I don't give a fuck. Don't
Good.
follow
I
me.
like it.
Don't follow me.
Don't
no, I
do
challenge you. I challenge you.
He
to follow
defies you to follow him.
I defy you to follow
We'll
him.
see
At
if you
Huebel
can.
on Threads. Okay,
me.
great.
At Rob Huebel on Instagram and Threads.
There
yeah.
you go. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
At Huebel on Truth
And
Social.
then you'll see me at the driving range. Most
now.
people. That's how most people.
That's where I tell most people about my shows. Driving range.
You guys are doing an improv driving range show. All right. Well, let's get into
Top
this story.
Golf does
called
comedy
Bottom
shows
Golf.
I know
in
they
Vegas.
should. All right. This is sent in by our good buddy Carlene McDermott.
Ooh.
She's the best.
At
She
She Carlene.
That is
Come
her handle.
on.
Wow, she plugged herself better than I did.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
she was really
So
good.
don't follow
She
Huebel.
does. She encourages people to follow. All
At
right.
don't follow Huebel.
Reminder to all our friends, we may be switching this to Threads.
We might. All right, Daniel, you might know about this and you might have been involved in it. All right, here's the headline. Dice roll settles tie in small Wisconsin town election.
Do you
A
guys,
dice roll?
So my current hour has a huge bit about Wisconsin. That the fact that nobody fucking even knows what's happening in that state.
There's such
You guys
weird-
joked about it when you did Comedy on State the
I'm
first time
tracking
we were
it.
together.
I'm tracking it.
Yeah.
Like,
You were
what's
like
going
up
up
in
in Rhinelander?
Rhinelander.
No
Yes.
one knows what's
No
going on.
one
Do you want to
like
know what
I-
happened in Rhinelander? True, I'll just tell you this.
Please.
Like 40, 50 years ago, 3 drunk guys one night, it might have been 100 years ago, decided that they wanted to create a monster for their town. And so they created what's called a hodag. It's like a frog demon with horns. And it's become the entire identity of this town. They have one of the biggest country music festivals in the country.
Called the Hodag
Called
Festival?
the Hodag Festival.
God damn.
So they just got drunk,
And
really
said,
one
"We're gonna-"
night, and then created a thing that became the town's whole identity.
So that's what you can do in
So,
Wisconsin.
so do you guys know what bar dice is?
no.
No.
So Wisconsin, every single bar, it
Bar
happens
dice.
in the Dakotas and stuff too. But bar dice, you go into a bar, you will play. You can play for shots with the bartender, and
Custody of your kids?
that probably you can do the shake. You can do the shake of the day.
Okay.
That usually is in like a those big like clear pretzel containers.
Yeah.
It's the dice are in there, and then you shake it and then put it down, and then they add up your numbers. The shake of the day will win what's in the pot. You pay like $1 to do the shake.
It's amazing.
They add
This
it
is
all
at
up.
every bar in Wisconsin.
I would say there's
Most.
probably some bougie motherfuckers in Madison and Milwaukee that don't do this, but outside of that,
Everywhere.
yes.
Okay.
There's-
And drinking age
You've never
is
been at a
14.
bar where you're just hearing people go bang? It's just throughout the whole night.
No,
They're-
I've
we
never
have
been to a
townies.
bar.
I don't go.
You have.
You don't go to
Okay.
bars?
I don't go to
Yahoo's.
I've been
We've been to Yahoo.
Yahoo's up at the cabin. Yahoo's is doing bar dice every
Do
single
they do it at the plaza
day.
for Plaza Burgers?
They do shake of the day. They'll do shake of the month, and then your number gets put up there. And if you win, if you're the winner
So
for the
dice settles a lot of stuff in Wisconsin.
month, yes,
Apparently
bar
now-
dice especially.
Apparently now elections.
Elections. I'm doing this story basically.
You said election?
Election.
So this is an election was solved by a dice.
You crazy bitch.
Yeah, Dan, and you can work this into your act.
I talk about bar dice.
Then you're
So
gonna
work
talk
this
about
story
this,
into
work
your
this
act.
story in, and we're doing this
I
all.
literally might go, do you fuckers know?
That an
Because this is probably the
election-
audience thinks
Dan,
I'm
you
lying.
have to.
Once I tell them what the drinking age is in Wisconsin, there isn't one. And I'm not lying. Well, all of that shit, people just think I'm making it up.
Dan.
Wisconsin...
There's
Add
no
this.
laws.
You're going to add this to the list. Okay, so I'm doing this basically so Dan can do his Wisconsin accent.
I love you.
throughout the whole time, and we.
All right, I'll do it. Let's
All
go.
right. Okay, an election in a small Wisconsin town came down to a roll of the
One
dice.
that wasn't stolen.
Hey,
Okay,
all right.
easy.
After Rob, this is the most Wisconsin name.
I'll yell it back at you.
Rob Zoschke.
Rob Zolski. Now, I bought a car here before, and I'm not getting screwed around like I did.
Here at Zolski Ford.
You guys tried to make me add cruise control, and I'm
All
not
right,
paying
Rob.
for that shit. I like a window I crank, not press.
Rob, you showed up here in a boat. All right.
Damn right. And I am trying to leave in a Buick.
Your friend here, Nate Bell, is.
Did you mispronounce
Rob Joski
Buick?
and Nate Bell each received how many votes to be president of the Sister Bay
This is Door
Village
County.
Board?
This is Door County.
Village Board.
Of the village board?
Yeah. How many votes
Sister
did
Bay,
each?
Sister Bay, and Sturgeon
This sounds
Bay,
like
the
a
pride of Door County.
small town.
How
Yeah.
many votes did they receive?
I bet. I mean, so it was a tie.
Yeah,
I bet
tie.
there's like 200 people in this town. I bet they got 100 votes each.
100 each?
I'm going to say 36 each.
756 votes, and it should have been 7, but I forgot to vote.
Okay. Here it is. Get your answers in.
You would have broken the tie.
I had 750.
Zoshki would
I
have broken.
voted in my mind.
I got you.
I don't know why you can't yell your vote. I yelled as I went by. I said,
Shouted
"Mark me
it.
down for me."
That should
Why would
count. I
not mark me
shouted
down?
it.
I should be able to vote after.
Did
Who
you
else
hear
would I
Rob?
vote?
Rob put in for himself. All right. They get your answers in. They each received 256 votes.
Rob was
The
close.
president of the
Good job.
Sister Bay Village Board. The race went to a tiebreak. Village clerk Heidi Teisch.
Heidi Teich.
Heidi
Up there he
Teisch. Oh, she looks good.
Yeah.
She looks
I
good.
remember her from high school.
She had no work done. She
Still
looks
pretty.
good.
Same haircut since high school. And because
I
it
like
works.
her with a little more meat on the
Is she still
bones.
dancing at the Foxhole?
Yeah, she's
Tail.
still
And no.
Foxtail.
the Foxtail
She
that
was
has
doing a couple of
It's a
shifts
strip
at the
club.
Foxtail.
It's a strip club. But in
She's got an artificial hand.
and you know what? It feels better than her natural.
Yeah. She likes to use that hand better.
It still has the dexterity
people want
to
me to finish,
go
there's
and
a black
Give her a
jack
high
machine.
five when I'm drunk. I don't even notice.
She's got opposable thumb.
It's mechanical.
I
an
told her.
artificial hand that you could pick up a coin with it and drop it in the old jute box, play a little foreigner.
Her and I got drunk on Blatz 2 years ago, and I said, "Hey, it's just me and you. You know, I'm bartenders here, but she's asleep." And I said, "Hey,
Why are you getting quiet, Rob?
Heidi, I'm so sorry to hear about the death of
I
your
said,
husband.
I feel so bad. Can I touch your stump?" And she let me touch
She
it.
unscrewed the
And I'm gonna be
hand.
honest. That's the hardest I've been in 10 years.
So now you got a
Now you got a thing for stumps.
Oh, Heidi, I hope they solve your husband's murder.
No, that's
I'm doing an Irish accent.
oh Heidi.
Why is he Why is Nate Bell smiling about
I
that when he
don't
says
know.
that? I don't.
Oh, I hope they catch that son
But
of
you're
a bitch
saying that
murdered your
wistfully.
husband.
You're saying that
It's
wistfully.
colder than Lake Winona is that case. I'll tell you that.
Heidi told the candidates the election would be settled via a game of chance. She just decided this.
Yep, this is what it is.
As per
All right, you two.
She's
All
like,
right.
I've had enough.
All right, you two. I'm sick of all the bickering, and now we're gonna settle this. Okay?
No, you get the bar dice.
This is where this is Wisconsin. As per the state election code. Stop, Dan.
yeah.
It's in the code that it's
in
a
the code.
dice roll.
What?
a game of chance.
All
What are
right.
they doing in Wisconsin?
I won't say what the dice roll was and who it was in favor of. We can guess that
God,
later.
it has to be the people. It has to be what's his name?
I don't
It's
know.
drawn a lot of interest because it's such an unusual thing, Miss Teisch told the BBC. The BBC is up in the story.
Yeah, but on the other
The
side,
BBC
that's a step down because I guarantee you, in the 70s, this was televised.
Yeah,
Just
It is a
local news.
movie.
Yeah. A TV movie.
The BBC is just like, what the like they just
They'll take
troll
any
for,
crazy
like,
shit we're doing.
dumb American
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yep.
Thank you.
For it to be settled
The
with
BBC
the-
does this story and then turns to whoever in England and says, "See,
Yep.
Proved
I
our
told
point."
you.
Yeah.
After voting ended, the village clerk sent an image of the final tally to both candidates. Am I seeing this right? Mr. Bell remembers thinking upon seeing 256 to 256 count. A dice roll was one of the options.
Not a recount.
The three-member board of canvassers considered pulling names from a hat.
oh my God."
Darts. You're
So
not going to
Dart
it's
is
either-
darts?
So far it's dice, pulling names from a hat.
Are you ready for this? Cutting a deck of cards.
That is the most Wisconsin shit.
Is it cards to
Welcome-
play euchre?
Welcome to our new board member, the Jack of Spades.
Are you ready for this? Drawing
pulled a knave.
straws. Dan,
Drawing
straws.
I can't even draw that well.
Or flipping a coin were among the other possibilities, but the canvassers ultimately decided a dice roll was
Bar
the
dice,
fairest.
Dan.
Look, the dice roll is going to represent our county more than anything
I know.
else.
God
okay.
damn.
They felt that if you flip a coin and a candidate calls one side, the other candidate has no option but to take the other side. And
Yeah,
just
that's
dice it.
how it always
Right.
works.
In a dice roll, they both get to participate. Heidi Teich is thinking
All right.
about fairness.
We're going to play five
Heidi.
deuces, 3 rounds, best of, unless you clear it all day.
Heidi, I wouldn't mind if you lost your other hand.
I want a handless Heidi.
Someone's going to send this podcast to her, and she's going to be so
She's
upset.
gonna be like, "What?" I got
Neither
both my
candidate.
hands.
My hands.
All right, you ready for this? This is amazing.
The hands of Heidi Teich.
The hands of Heidi Teich.
are rolling in the white. All right. Neither candidate was able to attend the roll in person. Oh, you
No,
got
they're
other
too
stuff
busy.
to do?
Too busy.
Too busy? There's a lot of
I told you guys when you set it up, I fish. I fish on Wednesdays from 4 to 8.
Well, what about you, Nate? Can you be there? Nate, can you be there?
I have a lot of things. I've got a lot of mason
gotta
jars.
dig
I
out a
have to
snowblower.
organize.
I'm trying to solve the murder of my dentist.
a lot of murders to solve.
I'm
guy was
surprised they
involved in
don't
so
do it
many
by
murders.
pull tab.
Oh, God.
A lot of murders. in
Oh,
this part
I know
of this
that.
country.
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right, neither candidate was able to roll in person, so 2 canvassers rolled in their stead.
Oh my God! You're gonna leave this.
I don't like this.
They just
Which is
what
gonna
you
allow
do is
both of these-
you unscrew Heidi's
his
hand.
hand.
You put the dice in the unscrewed hand,
you
so
flip
it's
it up
no,
in the end.
so no real hand is touching it.
Okay,
You let it
Mr.
go.
Zoshki watched the odd event via Zoom. I don't know how Zoom works.
Am I on? Am
He's
I on?
mute-
Turn your
By
camera
the way,
on.
and he was
Bob.
muted for the first 15 minutes of it.
Brenda, get in here. Am I on?
They can hear you,
Watched it
Bob.
over Zoom.
Oh God!
Point your laptop at the dice.
Oh, I figure he's driving.
How many? All right, they do such a.
Might have been in a combine.
They do such a
That's
like
too bad.
loose number, but approximately how many supporters reached out to Mr. Zoshki after the result? Which I'm not going to tell you what the result was.
30.
200.
What, people that are upset or people that are
Well,
excited?
I can't give you why, but
Oh,
they
okay.
reached out to
Wait,
him.
why can't you?
Either
Because they tied again.
Because I want you to guess who won.
Okay.
And by how much?
I think-
15 people reached out to him.
I said 200.
Get your answers in. Half a dozen.
Half a dozen. 6.
One.
Well, hey, one and one
Thanks
and
everybody for saying when he said half a dozen, everybody goes 6.
6, guys.
I knew it.
Well, you know, half a dozen and one, 6 in Terry's other.
One regretted
Heidi.
that their teenage daughter was unable to cast a ballot due to an out-of-town doctor's
told
appointment.
you there would be someone wanted to vote.
Who else you think my daughter's going to vote for? Can't we
Out
count her?
of town, the town is so small they don't have a
I got
doctor.
an out-of-town doctor's appointment. Another Canuck.
All day?
She had to go
All
down
day.
to Fond du Lac. That's where her doctor is. We
Fond du
moved, and you
Lac.
don't give up on the people who
What does
make you
Fond du
right.
Lac translate to?
By the lake. I believe.
Fondue
I think it's
Something-
phone in the lake.
Fondue by the lake.
200
love
years ago,
fondue.
someone dropped their phone in the lake. We should
Oh
name
my
the
God.
town after this.
Phone of the lake.
In Wisconsin, they put cheese in their chocolate fondue. All right, so they said so. The other one couldn't get off work before the polls closed. But I do have to believe my opponent received similar calls. Mr. Zoshki said in his friendly Wisconsin accent. He also said all right. Well, so now you know who lost. But
No, I don't. I
He
still
also
haven't figured this
don't.
out based
I
off what
I
you're
checked that a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
He did, however, note that how many voters curiously chose not to select either candidate.
Oh, well, and the turnout is always. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If it's
How many people voted and chose not?
512 voted. I would guess.
In a town of 50,000.
No, that's 512 cast a vote for either guy.
Right.
But now there are other people who voted, but
voted-
chose not to vote on either one of these guys.
Oh, so what was the non?
The people
like,
who noted
the
that so
void
curiously
vote?
chose not to select either candidate. Either they didn't know how to fill out the
I'm
form.
gonna go 118.
200.
half a dozen.
6?
Guys, everyone knows. You're not impressing me when I say half a dozen and you guys say
just
6.
wanna-
He did have a note that 78 voters. Curiously,
that's a
chose that. I don't get hung up on a vote here or a vote
We still
there.
don't know. Just so you know, I have no idea. Who
Yeah,
won
Jay,
or
just
lost.
tell us who won.
No.
at this point.
Well, I'll guess.
Rob Zoschke.
It was between.
Zoschke or Nate?
And Nate Bell.
Nate Bell.
Mr. Bell asked to keep the dice as a souvenir and a reminder of life's unpredictability.
Well, he lost that.
It's too soon now, but I hope someday Rob and I can get together and have a charity event
Your ass.
rolling dice off.
Your ass, we will.
Best known for being home to a marina and a restaurant.
Good reading,
with,
Jay.
With goats.
You were homeschooled.
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this is
Unbelievable.
what this town is known for. Best known for being home to a marina and,
and
a
goats on a roof.
restaurant with ghosts on its sodded roof.
Goats or ghosts?
You know this?
Goats.
I've been there, guys.
You've been to this town.
Yes,
And you've been
it's
to-
Door County.
Okay.
Don't say that like I know what that is.
You know,
Door
Wisconsin
County?
kind of looks like this. It's this part that goes up into Lake Michigan on its own little
Why do they
peninsula.
put goats on the roof?
It's just a. It's always
Fun
been
thing.
that way.
It's just goats on a sodded roof.
It's
Don't
goats
you know
on a
that's
sodded
what
roof.
people come to town to see? All right. The tie. I was staring at the goats and I missed the polling.
I drove into the harbor.
So who won?
Why can't the goats vote?
drove
Why
in
can't they live here?
One of them knows me. All right. The
Goat
tie is
rhymes
one of the
with
most
vote.
exciting things to happen to this town of how many people?
There you go. Now that's
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen. That's six.
Six.
Come on. How many people?
I mean, I should know it.
Daniel, you
It's-
better know. You better be closest. You don't
Well,
have
think
to
of how many people don't come out to vote. I'm going to
It's
say
Door County.
3,000 people. Yeah, but it's sister-based.
3,000
Sturgeon Bay.
people?
4,500.
4,500? What do you say?
Half
Half a dozen.
6?
A town of 1,106.
Wow.
1,100
it's not a
people.
lot.
I never would have dreamed we'd
more.
get this much attention up here, said Miss Teisch. Before we get out of here, story number 2.
Yeah.
Who won?
The dice rolled. What was the dice roll?
That
And what
won?
versus what? And who won?
So it's
are we
one
going
die.
Single die?
I think it's one die.
Half a dozen.
Six?
So someone got half a dozen.
Six?
I'll do this all day.
6 versus what?
Versus 2.
6 to 2.
I like that. I like
Rob
that.
said 6 to 2. What do you say?
5-3.
That's what I was going to say. Fine, fuck it. I'll go 4-1.
4-1. One of you is exactly right.
Wow.
I'm staying
you.
5-3.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Staying
me. I
5-3.
don't think it's
I
me.
know
but
for a fact it's me.
I'm the only
Because
person.
I'm Rob Joshua.
Rob Joshua, what are you doing?
Oh,
wearing a latex
I'm Heidi.
Heidi Teisch.
Hold on.
Was Heidi Teisch
The
like the
hands of
publicist from way back?
No,
in-
the hands
Oh,
of
Heidi
Heidi.
Fleiss.
Oh, Heidi,
Fleiss.
you are so tight.
Okay. It's me.
You're right. All right, so you guys are all sticking with yourselves.
Yep, sticking with
Get
us.
your answers in, because the person who was correct that the dice roll was 6-2.
Oh.
Part 1 was you, Rob.
It was Rob.
I told you I was right.
Beautiful.
And who won? Was it Bell or Zoschke?
Nate
I
Bell.
couldn't care
Nate Bell
less.
won.
I really couldn't care less.
But tell me who you think.
Joschke. It was.
I think it was
Bell,
Bell.
Zoschke.
Yeah. So
Two Zoschkes and a Bell. Who won?
The answer is Nate Bell won.
That's
And I
Man,
don't
this
like
is
it.
Wisconsin.
And I don't like it.
I don't like it a
Work
bit.
this into your act.
And
Dan, give us a
100%
little.
will.
Give us a little taste of what we're going to have in segment
Public
3.
sex.
Public sex. I love it. Rob
That's
Huebel's
what
with
I
us.
came here for.
Thank you. We finally give
That's
him
why
what.
I drove to Burbank.
Finally give him what he wants. Rob Huebel on the other side of this break. It is Dumb People Town. Don't go anywhere.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Before we get into the final segment, Daniel Van Kirk, I hope people came out and saw.
I bet they did. Well, I mean,
I'm
it
sure
sold
they-
out. Wouldn't that be crazy if they didn't?
No. You're going to have lots of great
Yeah,
people.
thank you. I've hopefully said it already 100 times, but
Where's
thank you to
your show?
everybody. They would have come to see my special taping in Chicago on 11/11, which is right
Holy
before this
cow.
dropped, and then my hometown of Rochelle, where I did a couple shows, and the whole first run of the Rose Gold tour. More dates are being added, but for right now, December 14th, Austin Cap City Comedy Club. Boom. Daniel Van Kirk. Dat game.
Love it. Let's
Ready?
jump into this last story.
Ready?
Let's do it.
This
Short
better
for
have
fun.
some public sex.
a lot of it.
Oh, he's
Sent in by Beth at Love MZU. Love Mizzou.
Love Mizzou. Okay.
Report. report.
Just
Allegedly.
Alleged.
People are saying.
Couple had sex at Cedar Point.
No.
Cedar Point, the amusement park?
Oh, yeah.
Don't they have like some amazing roller coaster there that
They do
everybody
now.
talks about?
How much for this ride? How tall do I have to be to get onto this ride? How tall do I have to be to go in the tunnel?
Sandusky, Ohio. 2 people are in
Oh, that's a bad place for.
are in
rename
hot
it.
water after I always think that too.
Rename it.
After their alleged lewd actions at Cedar Point were witnessed by children.
It is a small world after all, kids.
This is where you
Take a
came
look.
from. This is where you came from.
Look at it.
And this is where you're
A
gonna
dad
go.
holding his son's face up to it. Look at
it.
it.
Watch this.
Police were called to the giant wheel just after 8:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Well,
So
it
it's
was
an
dark.
S&M thing.
It was
yeah.
dark.
Oh,
Also, that's a double
Where'd
mitzvah.
you do her?
Double
On the
mitzvah.
Buccaneer?
On Sunday for a
More
report
like
of
the
2 people
Buccaneer.
having sex. They're doing it right now.
It was
I'm
only,
looking.
It was only 2.
yeah, it was only 2.
Only 2.
Okay. It would have been great if it was like 5.
You
Yeah.
get bored
You're
in the
like, well,
line. You
just
get bored in the line.
An odd number.
Any of you done the high roller in Vegas?
No.
The Ferris wheel that's behind the
Oh,
link?
people definitely have sex in that thing.
I've done something in Vegas on the rooftop of some, like one of those like things that shoots you up.
Oh, shit.
It was like a moonshot or something.
Yes.
Like on.
Was that the Stratosphere?
Yes, it was fucking on the roof. It's the scariest thing I've ever.
Wait,
I
what?
was
Is it a
no desire.
slingshot?
It's like a
No,
slingshot.
It's around the peak, the fucking needle of it, and it shoots you fucking
It
straight up.
shoots you up, but you're already. You go out there and you're like, oh, I'm on top of a skyscraper.
This is high.
Yeah, this is already
And
high. It's
hopefully
very
not windy.
windy.
Are you afraid of heights at all or no?
I didn't think I was.
Oh god.
Oh, I am. I
But
will
if
never
you
in a
shoot me up in a
million-
ride,
at a certain
up on
level,
the
we're all
top,
afraid of
yeah,
heights.
up
Is it,
on the
are you
top of it.
loose or is it like attached
You're
to
sitting
the
on it, and it's like, whoa.
I mean, they have like a seatbelt. What do you mean? Do they not have seatbelts?
I mean, you know how like,
They're like,
this-
hold on to this strap and you'll be fine.
do you know the
Now wrap this around.
subway strap.
the slingshot thing in Atlanta where they like
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing back and they
Yes.
just slingshot people
yeah.
and there's all these videos of people like passing out and then waking
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
and still being in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, so this was just they shoot you up the
You
needle?
lock into
This
the
is-
thing.
yeah, you
needle
locked
behind
in,
you.
yeah.
Like we would be all sitting 4 next to each
In
other.
a circle around
no,
the
we
back.
would be
Everything
sitting
you've eaten
4 next
goes
to each
right
other. It's
down
behind us.
to your toes.
Your back is to
terrifying.
the needle
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
And-
also a roller coaster
Yeah,
on the
that
top.
goes
of it.
out and around and then
Which
back.
what kind of maniac?
Yeah, that is
A lot of
insane.
trust.
I got
in
an idea,
engineering.
Bill. What if we put a roller coaster on the top of the hotel?
Well, we're not going to put it near the edge. I mean, that's
We're gonna put it over.
In the middle of the roof. It's
middle of the roof. It's
Guys, we're out of ecstasy. I've done all we can. We're putting on the roof.
okay.
So the high roller Ferris wheel in Vegas is, I think it's like 30 people max, and you can do a deal where it's all you can drink for one rotation. It takes like a half hour to go around. People get shit
of course,
faced.
shots.
Yes,
Shots.
yes. It's like a little moving train car that just
and
goes up and around.
impregnated.
That's
I bet.
right.
A lot of
Here
people.
we go.
Somebody gonna get pregnant tonight.
Police were called to the giant wheel after 8:30 on Sunday for a report of 2 people having sex. A Miamisburg. That's a weird take on
Where are you
that.
from? You from Miami? Miamisburg.
yeah, it's the
Just
Pit-
outside.
the
We're gonna
Pittsburgh
retire
of
there.
Miami.
Sort of.
The nightlife.
Welcome to Miamisburg.
Miami.
My favorite.
Miamisburg, Ohio woman and a Florida man. It's always. Even when we're in Ohio.
Doesn't matter where you go.
Allegedly had sexual relations on one of the park's ride, according to Sandusky police report. The act was reportedly witnessed by 2 women and 2 children.
Yep. So look away. At this point, do not
Cover their eyes.
cover their eyes.
Look away, baby. Look away.
Where'd you meet that Florida man? Oh, he was fixing the ride before I got there.
Exactly.
When confronted by police, the couple denied they were engaging in intercourse. I would think if you have to be asked, were you guys having sex up there? And I tell you no, that's the end of this conversation.
you
Yeah, you can't prove it.
unless someone has.
Well, they
video.
saw you. They hate me. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
So if they got video,
Well, then now countersuit.
yeah,
Right.
Why are you thinking of your legal moves in this?
Because I've got plans.
Guys, I like to go on roller coasters in a
And
very
we
public
have Six
Flags.
So 2 women, 2 children, saw this.
Yeah.
Just
They're confronted by cops. They were engaging. The woman claimed she dropped a pack of cigarettes, and when she bent over to retrieve them, the man helped her. That is.
I helped her in with
he
them.
kept helping her
Yeah.
over and over
kept
and over.
it
And she
down
kept
there.
dropping them.
She kept dropping them, and
She's got
Right.
butterfingers.
Are those regular
You can
cigarettes?
go- I
No,
think
they're
you
more
invent-
120s. I need
invent-
more.
They're slippery.
They're
The group of females, thought it was 2. That's
Yeah.
not a group. Who witnessed the alleged sex act, described what happened to police in detail. Slow down.
I would
Talk
like to hear
slower.
The police are like, and then another guy's like, I'm going to need to make a
Say
report
that
of that
again.
too.
Say that again, but whisper it. Whisper the details.
Can you lick your lips?
ASMR?
Can you lick your lips?
ASMR.
This is one of the most prompted.
When you say it, look right.
Don't break eye contact.
Don't you look at it?
Oh, you looked away.
are you
Start
looking
over.
at?
You looked away. Start
No,
over.
sir, you're not even writing on anything. You don't
Oh,
even
I'm
have
writing
a pen.
it down.
You don't even have a pen. You're just doing this on
I
your
got
hand.
a pen. Okay, this is the most prompted sentence I've ever read on this show. One of the children told an officer she was traumatized by what she witnessed.
Oh,
No.
come on.
That is a
That is-
parent.
You're old enough to say traumatized.
Yeah,
You
go
can
tell the
handle it.
officer you're traumatized.
Well, that is exactly.
Go
Now, when
tell
they
him.
get here,
You tell them that
say
you're traumatized.
You were traumatized.
I mean, get out of people's business. Take your
I'm not
kids
saying
away.
they weren't, but the kid doesn't know to say that.
No.
Yeah.
And if you're old enough
The
to say
officer then
traumatized,
spoke
you're
with the
not
couple
traumatized.
again, and they have eventually admitted they engaged in sex. Why
Would you admit
say
that?
This?
Because they got.
There
they
is no video.
They broke them. They broke them is what happened. If your kids are like, "What's going on up there?" You just say they're sharing a corn dog.
Which is true.
Which is
How
probably
far off
is
is that?
true.
Which is true. The two were arrested for public indecency and transported to the Erie County Jail. Because 2 of the witnesses were minors, they were enhanced to first-degree misdemeanors.
What?
I really want to ask.
Come on.
I really want to ask.
Cedar Point.
Is it worth possibly ruining these 2 people's life?
What's the Cedar Point?
Did it require more than waiting for them, finding them once they both physically, actually both ways, physically get off the Ferris wheel and go, the fuck you 2?
Yeah.
I get it. Do your shit. Just make sure kids aren't like, isn't that kind of all that was
don't
needed?
do it in
You could
Haven't you guys
easily-
had enough in your own lives to be like, I just got to go tell this person
If
to
you
fuck off.
give, so
I'll be
what
right
you
back.
do is you say, you kids give us each $20, and then you go to the 2 kids who saw it, and you say, here, go buy yourself some treats. Like everyone shuts up.
Or
no one's.
don't tell anybody what you saw. Take these $20 bills.
You know what's going to erase that memory?
Teach these kids that when it comes to sexual things, they need to know how to keep a secret.
Now, also, we don't know. I mean, we're obviously taking the wrong side of this, but we don't know.
Rand might be. He
we
wants to
don't
pay off
know
secrecy.
what these people were doing. We don't know
They were
how.
just fucking.
She bent over to get the cigarettes, and he
Yes.
So maybe one other option.
he lit
by
her
the way.
candle.
One other
I'm not
option
saying
would
that
be
they're
to
right, but
hold them in in the security room all night, scare the hell out of them,
and be like, you know what, you
have
like
sex
sex
with
so
them.
much, you 2 are having sex all
They're
night.
Get in the
Definitely.
closet and do it for 12 hours. and then when
finish
you're
that
done, you
whole-
won't want to
finish
do
that
it.
It's like when you get caught drinking when you're in high school.
Exactly.
and
Finish
your
it
dad-
out. Sit
Smoke
and
the
drink
whole
the whole
bag.
thing.
Yeah.
Smoke them.
Go ahead. You want to have sex? Have sex all
You
day.
have sex in front of this
bringing
whole
it right
kindergarten class.
I'm bringing in 12 more women, and you're going to have sex with all of them until you can't anymore.
As of Tuesday morning, neither the man nor the woman is incarcerated at the jail.
There you go.
Which I hope is just some Ohio cop on his smoke break being like,
Now,
We let
how
him go.
old were the little kids?
Doesn't
don't even say.
say.
Do you want to guess how old the couple was?
Yes,
Yeah,
half a
they're
dozen.
minors.
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen. 6. I'm gonna say they're both 17.
No, they're adults.
I thought you said they were minors. Oh, the kids.
Kids were
kids
minors.
Oh, 27. 27 and 25.
Okay.
512.
Nice.
I want them to be 65 and 56.
It would be great.
That would be unbelievable.
The woman is 32.
Oh my God.
So
Too old.
Man is 18.
The man is 23.
There you go. You knew it.
You should have led with that.
Yeah, that's
I closed with it.
woman robs cradle.
The 32-year-old grandmother of 4 told the man.
Oh, that's story 3.
look,
I
There you
love
go, story
everybody.
3.
Be
That's
nice
how
to
we
each
do it
other.
in Dumb People Town.
Rob, you were wonderful.
Rob Huebel, I love
Really
having
dumb
you here.
people. There's so many dumb people.
and
There
the town
is.
is just getting bigger.
And we just want
It's
to make
just
it
getting
fun.
bigger.
We
It's
just want to
not
make it
getting any
fun.
smarter.
It's not getting smarter or smaller.
Here's to you making fun of that on stage many times in the near future.
I
How
will.
about that?
I would love to. Thank you for saying
See,
that.
I put it out there, and then it will manifest.
It will manifest.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. And come see us live. And oh shit, we got to get back to work. Bye.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.